This is a Rogue Media Network podcast.
Hey y'all, I'm April.
And I'm Caroline.
And this
is your Bloody Happy Hour.
Caroline, are you ready for this?
This is your newest guilty pleasure.
It's the bloodiest part of your week.
Did we say something about it also being happy hour?
Show did.
Because we about to be sipping on some murder. Bloody Happy Hour.
Hey y'all, this is April.
And this is Caroline.
Bloody Happy Hour, you're here.
We have a quickie for you.
It is Turn Up Tuesday.
Turn Up Tuesday with the quickie. We have clips. We have all the things.
Oh, did we finally wake up?
I think we did. We have been awakened from the dead.
Here we go. What you got?
Okay, let's start off with Kohberger, because I think we mentioned that last week just a little bit, but there's an issue with the whole Dateline episode, because there was a recent episode that came out, Dateline, and I just was like, why? What is this new information? Why are you having another show? Because there's a gag order. And I was really kind of annoyed because you can't have new information because nobody can tell anybody new information. So, but apparently there was new information, but it was stupid stuff. Mm-hmm. Anyway, the judge has assigned the prosecutor to appoint a special prosecutor. A special prosecutor is somebody who's from outside of the office to come in. So right now in the Karen Reed trial, the person who is the prosecutor for that case is a special prosecutor, and he is actually a defense attorney out of a different state. So if somebody comes in as a special prosecutor, that means they're out of a different state, out of a different area, and they're going to come in and see what's going on in the current situation.
So no bias. They're just...
Right,
yeah,
right.
Okay.
So this person is supposed to come in to investigate the leak to Dateline. Because obviously there was a leak, because how are they knowing this new information that's supposed to be under gag order? And the defense is the one who is saying that they think the prosecution is doing it all. Prosecution is the prosecutor is Bill Thompson. He's the one that's for the state. He's the one that's saying Brian did it. Okay. So he basically is having to hire somebody to come in and investigate his side and his team. Gosh. That's what the judge orders. So I'm going to play you this clip. It's about a 2-minute clip, but it has to do with, it gives you a little insight of what the judge said, but also there's commentary from one of my YouTube guys, because I was watching his channel and he was explaining it a little bit from a lawyer's perspective. So that's what this clip is going to say. So let's see what he has to say.
States, based on sensitive information not previously publicly circulated, that was reported during a recent Dateline TV program related to this case and the defendant Brian Kohberger, it appears likely that someone violated the court's non-dissemination order.
It appears likely that someone violated the court's non-dissemination order.
Violations not only undermine the rule of law, potentially by persons charged with upholding it, but also significantly impede the ability to seat an impartial jury, and will likely substantially increase the cost to try this case by extending the time it will take to seat a jury and potentially requiring a lengthy period of jury sequestration. Hitler.
Those are some words you do not want to hear as a juror and even as a lawyer, because we know it's so much harder to pick a jury when they have to be sequestered. Mm-hmm. It is so much harder. They are so much more annoyed at everything that wastes time or it takes forever. They are so much more annoyed if you have to miss half a day or end early or start late on a day if they are sequestered. But he said, you're going to cause us so much more time and money if you keep leaking it, because we may not be able to pick a jury at all. More on that later from the defense. And we might have to sequester them. You know how expensive that is to get all these people hotel rooms for an entire trial? That's wild.
Gosh. And potentially requiring a lengthy period of jury sequestration. Hitler said the leak frustrates the ability of both sides to receive a fair trial. Hitler continues, Accordingly, the court finds it is imperative to attempt to see that the source of such leak is identified and held to account, and that doing so is the best deterrent to future violations. Hippler is ordering both sides and anyone who has worked for them on this case to preserve all of their records.
Hippler is the
Hippler
judge.
states, based on sensitive...
That's it.
I'm glad the name's not Hitler.
I know, it's Hippler.
And she talks like AI.
I know. It's Anjanette Levy. She works, she's law and crime. The male voice you heard is Peter. His name, if you want to go and listen to that full episode, it's on YouTube, and he's the lawyer you know. That's what his YouTube name is. But he goes into depth and goes in into the order and into the Dateline because he watched the episode. I didn't watch it. I don't have ID channel or whatever. But it was just basically like random information that didn't seem very valid, or like it was like a friend of a friend of a friend said this, and Brian is like a psychopath, or that he's weird and he's this and he's that and whatever, and that could sway a jury and blah blah blah. And but so basically this could delay the trial. That's the whole point of it.
That little bitty information.
Because the defense obviously they do want more time, because it's up to him. If he wanted a speedy trial, he would have already had the trial. So obviously he wants to get as much time as he can
for mistakes to happen.
Right. So if the prosecution did something, then they are stupid, and that's annoying. But let's go to Louisiana.
Oh, always.
Okay. We had a little prison break.
Yes.
10 inmates escaped.
I know you sent me that, but how?
Okay. Friday, May 16th, 2025. 10 men escaped from, that's how you say it, by the way.
It's French.
New Orleans Parish Prison. Currently 5 remain at large, so they've caught 5. Authorities allege that the prison break was accomplished after a toilet was dismounted from the wall, and they say that it was an inside job. So, as police in Louisiana, they are scrambling. They're trying to find the rest of these inmates. They have arrested 2 women alleged to have helped some of the men after the escape.
Oh man,
the women
prison penis.
The women are being, but listen, okay, the women are being charged with 1 felony count for being accessory after the fact for allegedly helping men who escaped prison in Louisiana. And they say that they could be fined not more than $500 or imprisoned with or without hard labor for not more than 5 years or both. I don't know why it's worded this way. Just tell me what my options are. I guess you get $500 or you go to prison.
Give me
charge.
My phone. Yeah.
Go ahead, pay. So they said that harboring fugitive threatens the safety of our communities and will not be tolerated. Okay, so police say that also they also arrested this guy Sterling Williams, a prison maintenance worker who they said assisted the inmates in their escape. He's 33 years old, and he's alleged to have shut off the water to the toilet and the sink inside the cell, which were later ripped out, creating a hole for the 10 men to climb through. So his attorney...
He did what to the sink?
He turned the water off.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
On purpose.
Well, that's what the police are saying.
Okay.
But then his attorney comes and says, oh, no, the toilet was clogged. Okay. So that's why he turned the water off in the cell. I mean,
it's his job. He's a maintenance man.
Yeah. The sheriff, Susan Hudson, and you might remember her. She has the mushroom haircut, and she was the one who did the interviews for the parade drive-through, when the dude drove through the parade. And so it's this lady, the sheriff. She's classified this escape as an inside job, and she has suspended her re-election campaign on Tuesday, saying she needs to focus on restoring public trust. So the former prisoners have continued to evade police for nearly a week, and those are Leo Tate, Jermaine Donald, Derek Groves, Linton Van Buren, and Antone Massey. while Corey Boyd, Gary Price, Kendall Miles, Robert Moody, and DeCannon Dennis have been rearrested.
Some of them were murderers, though, right?
Yeah, the men who escaped range in the ages between 19 and 42 who have been imprisoned for various crimes, including murder, assault, and domestic abuse. And surveillance from outside of the prison shows at least 2 of the escapees running across traffic on like a I saw the video that Brian Enton posted, and it was like you can see them like running, and then you can see them like little tiny little ants like going across the highway. And that some of them were in the French Quarter.
On Bourbon Street.
Yeah, hours
Then
after
had
they
a hurricane.
escaped. They're at New Orleans. Yeah, they were about less than 2 miles away. And inside the cell where they escaped, a message was left that was written on the wall, and it says, "Too easy, LOL."
Taunting. So they obviously went through the hole where the toilet was?
I guess.
No way.
But apparently the women who allegedly helped them, like
they worked for the prison? I don't get it.
No.
Oh.
One of
can they
them,
help them,
I put it in here and I don't see it. I must have deleted it. Okay, hang on. One of them, did I delete it? Okay, well, one of them like gave them food, and then one of them, like they didn't do it. They just like one gave them food and one gave them clothes or something like that.
Oh.
But like,
well, they just did what
did
the
they
Bible
really
said
know?
do.
Did they know they were a prison escapee?
I
They
know.
probably, what if they were like, hey, what if they're like, I'm going to beat you, give me food. Okay, then I'm going to give you food if you're going to like attack. I would say that. I would be like, they were threatening me, but then maybe they didn't turn them in, so then that's probably why.
The Bible says we're supposed to be helping the people in the prisons.
Well, I don't know if that's how you're supposed to help them, but that's...
We ain't supposed to help them escape, but what?
They didn't help them escape. They just...
Gave them food. You're supposed to. You feed the hungry.
Yes. Maybe they thought they were just homeless people. I mean, they technically were homeless.
Yeah, they were. They're doing their...
So, I don't know. I think they should not have any charges.
They were least of these. Yeah, they're not going to pay.
Yeah.
So... Where are those 5 people?
They gone.
Gone.
If they were smart, they would have like gone. Go to Canada, get across the border, go to Mexico, go to go to Vietnam, where there's no extradition.
They're probably still in New Orleans.
They probably are, because
They
I mean
are.
they ain't got no money.
They are probably still around. I don't get did they just go through a wall and end
I
up
feel
outside?
like the prison guard, like, did.
You've had more help than.
I mean, obviously they had planned it, and they're like, okay, we're gonna. I don't know. Because like they can.
You just don't go through a wall and end up outside.
Well, I think they had I don't know if the toilet
a blueprint.
water was off. I think that maybe they had removed the toilet and they would like started. This is my speculation.
They went through brick and mortar.
They started to dig, and they had probably been digging for a while. Then they would put the toilet back, and then they would take the toilet back off, and then they would dig a little more, and then they would put the toilet back. But the whole water had to been off the whole time. So that's why I think they're like, whoever turned the water off knew what they were trying to do, and then they would take it off and put it back. That's just what I'm guessing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never escaped prison.
I can see that because when things are broken, they don't fix shit in prisons.
Yeah.
Like once it's broken, it's broken.
Yeah.
And they're not in a hurry to fix things.
And that video of them, they were gone. Running. One guy fell down. He had to pick up his satchel or whatever he had.
Wow.
But yeah, so we'll see what happens with that.
Oh, they're living their life.
And then...
Don't say the name. Don't say the name.
I know. It's Sherry Papini is back. She's back. I know we touched on this last week, but let me tell you, and I'm going to remind you, and I'm going to go through it. Okay, I'm just going to read what I have on my page. Sherry Papini vanished for 22 days in 2016. This is like 10 years ago, almost 9 years ago. Then initially claimed she was abducted by the 2 Hispanic women. Okay. She now claims her 2016 disappearance was a real abduction by her ex-boyfriend. She previously admitted faking the kidnapping to cover up an affair and serve time in prison. She's making her new claims in a new 4-part docuseries.
Oh, a new one.
Called Sherry Papini, Caught in the Lie, premiering on Investigation Discovery on May 26th, streaming on Max.
Please, nobody tune in.
Oh, I'm tuning in because, okay.
She needs no money in her pocket.
The clip I'm going to play, and I'll show you it, it's if anybody believes this woman, like, she's a psychopath. Sherry Papini made nonstop headlines around the world in 2016 after disappearing on an afternoon jog while in her home in Redding, California. She then reappeared 22 days later, claiming that she had been abducted, tortured, and even branded on the back by 2 mysterious masked Hispanic women.
And forced to listen to Mexican music.
Forced! 6 years later is when she was sentenced to 18 months in federal prison after admitting that she had lied to investigators that her kidnapping was a hoax. Now the 42-year-old divorced mother of 2 is back and speaking publicly for the first time in this new docuseries. And she says she's going to tell the real story behind the scandal. So let me just play you a clip, and I'll describe what's happening during this clip. Okay, it's just her sitting.
She don't have her 8th grade bangs anymore.
No. Okay, so the producer says, whenever you're ready, and then all of a sudden she's busting out, like she just starts laughing. Okay, she's laughing.
Whenever you're ready. Oh. Oh my God. So the story that the world thinks they know is that I am a master manipulator who's fooled everyone. That's my magic wand.
She just did a gesture like she's
abracadabra.
abracadabra waving a wand, and she's like I fooled everybody with my magic wand. This you cannot.
She's pulling a Casey Anthony.
She is Casey Anthony.
Sorry. I'm gonna do ridiculous things because some of this is ridiculous.
Rolls her eyes, wipes her bangs out of her face, makes a face, starts laughing.
The Sherry Papini that's out there, it's not me. She's not real. It's just this version of me that has been created to fit the narrative for the media's version of what happened.
The fact that you got to come out and say that.
The fact that she's so narcissistic, oh my God. You think I have this magic wand? She is the most unlikable.
Right. Like the fact
Awful.
that you have to be the one to come out and say that nobody else in the whole world is willing to come say that for you says something.
Just wait. In the documentary, whatever, Papini says she concocted her story about the 2 masked women in an effort to cover up an affair she was having with her former boyfriend, James Reyes, because she feared that her now ex-husband, Keith Papini, she feared what he would do if he found out about the relationship. She says, quote, "The truth is, I was concealing an affair from my husband, who was threatening to take everything from me if he found out that I was having an involvement with another man."
He got it anyways.
She also alleges that her former boyfriend snatched her after she urged him to come to Redding because, unbeknownst to Reyes, she intended to end their long-distance relationship. She says, quote, "I was abducted." And she says, "I don't remember if I got in the car before allegedly being driven away." She says, "I remember waking up briefly in the back of the vehicle and not being able to even open my eyes. And then the next time I woke up was when he was getting me out of the vehicle to go inside, and it was dark. He had one hand underneath my arm trying to help me walk. And I remember thinking, this is not where I'm supposed to be. I'm supposed to be picking up my kids from daycare. I'm not supposed to be here. The injuries occurred, the bites on my thigh, the footprint on my back, the brand, the melting of my skin. I'm telling you, there was no consent. In August 2020, DNA was found on the clothes of Sherry, the clothes that she was wearing when she was recovered, and was traced to Reyes. So that's how they found out who the guy was. Later, Reyes passed a polygraph test and said that she had planned everything, even the decision to use the wood-burning tool to brand her shoulder, and it was all Sherry's idea. And he says, I didn't kidnap her. She was just a friend in need asking for help. She was trying to get away from her husband. 9 months after Sherry's release from federal prison, Reyes is now being cast as the villain in her new version of events. She also claims that the first thing she remembers after arriving at Reyes' apartment in Costa Mesa, California, is waking up naked in a tiny room. She says, quote, I wanted to leave. So I tried to pull one of the boards off the window, and James came in and hit me in the face. And that's the first bruise that I got. And after being knocked out and waking up, that's when chains were around my waist, secured with a padlock attached to a cable that was attached to a pole in the closet. Shortly after reappearing from her 22-day ordeal after being found near a highway on-ramp 150 miles from her home in Redding, Sherry recalls having a hard talk with Reyes, who declined to comment on Sherry's allegations over dinner. She says, James had let me off the chain. I said, my husband's going to find me. He's never going to stop looking for me. You need to let me go. He was like, well, too much has happened. So it all came down to me. It all came down to my cover up. And that's when I agreed, make up that someone else did it. I cannot with this woman. She is the worst. She is the worst. She's like, she's
it
Amber
took her
Heard.
6 years to come up with this.
Yes. She's like, wait a second. I think I figured out a new story.
See how bored they are in jail where they can come up with this story?
But why? I don't like ID.
I need Reyes.
Why is ID trying to give these
money? Make that money.
But is it ID wants to make the money or Sherry wants to make what?
It don't matter. You get them clicks. Push play on that.
Because I want to watch that shit. Because I want to see what this. I want to see what this B has. This. You can't like her. You just can't like her. You can't. It's awful. She's really just a narcissistic sociopath. She is a manipulator, and she's like a wolf in sheep's clothing. She's a pretty face.
That's it.
Yeah.
And they usually are. Sarah Boone is not, but like Casey Anthony's pretty. Sherry Papini's pretty. Is there another one? Amber Heard was pretty. Mm-hmm. That's it. Sarah Boone is not.
Sarah Boone is not pretty. But like these people, I'm telling you, and I don't even think it matters. Well, I mean,
the girl that shot up the professors, she was not pretty, but she was kind of like that.
Conniving and cunning and like charismatic, I guess. Mm-hmm. Just like they just have this way, like with their like laugh and smile and like charm, but it's not charm because it's really annoying. Please tell us what you think about Sherry Papini, because I'm gonna have to watch it and I don't want to, but I'm gonna have to.
Should you do a play-by-play?
We might need to do all reenact. We might need to do it.
Play-by-play of Sherry Papini. She
needs to go. That's all I have to say.
How much time did she end up doing? Not
18 months.
Okay.
Which I mean, that's over a year. Obviously, I ain't good at math, but that's 12 months is a year, so that's over a year. Yeah. So.
Right? No, 18.
Well, I mean, 12 months is a year. So, yeah, 18 is about 24 months is 2 years because I'm good with math because 12 and 12 is 24. Look at us go. But yeah, but that she did time.
Wow.
So there you go.
What a good
That's what I got.
quickie.
That's our quickie, and let us know what you think.
There is some local news. Somebody
I
just
did
sent me this.
Get a lot of.
Hold on. I just thought this was a little bit funny.
Oh,
Only I would think this was funny, but
Well, did we? Oh, is it about the redheads?
no.
Oh, okay.
We did talk about that last week, but somebody sent me this, and there was a quote in this article here in Waco, and the quote is, "I've never seen anything so horrendous and so torturous ever. Never. This is a Jeffrey Dahmer in training. It doesn't stop at cats. It doesn't stop at animals. Serial killers start with animals because someone killed some cats and hung them from a utility line in Waco on the corner of Bagby."
Was it you?
It was not me.
April.
And
Do you-
somebody, I think our local like PETA person, not PETA, but our local animal person is really mad.
Well,
Really mad.
Let me just tell you.
Our local Cribs for Canine person is on the news and really mad. But that is kind of weird. Like, you don't hang dead cats from the power line on one of the busiest streets in
normal
Waco.
People don't, but like.
So do we have a Jeffrey Dahmer in training? Or is somebody just trying to impress me?
I think they're trying to impress you. They want to get on the podcast. But ever
Just
since
send
I
us an
sent you
email.
that, then of course, anytime we talk about something, it shows up on my Facebook, which I barely get on. But then
Well.
I had this Facebook post that was like a big giant cat bed, like a.
Oh, that's the worst.
Okay, but now I'm getting ads about cat shoes.
I hate them.
So now I'm forced to look at cats all the time.
I hate it. Somebody just had a freaking quinceañera for their cats, and they went all out like spend thousands of dollars for a quinceañera for their cats.
No, this is false. This is fake.
It is real, and I hate them.
Wait.
A quinceañera for their cat, and it was a very nice quinceañera
Did
for
they
their
dress
cat.
the cat?
Yes, and everybody else dressed up for their cat, for this cat. It was too much.
It's not. That's not how.
And
that's
they were
not what we
Mexican,
do.
and it made me really mad. I was like,
your Mexican card is out. Like, you're done. Like, that's
I was
not.
like, why would you desecrate?
Why are you having a quinceañera for your cat? I can't. Okay, well then that makes it feel better whenever I'm gonna stuff Parker and put him on my shelf. If they're having a quinceañera for their cat, I'm gonna have a quinceañera for Parker.
Do it.
I will, just to prove
It's
him.
okay with having a quinceañera for an animal, just
No.
not a cat.
Just do it for your human child.
I don't like quinceañeras anyways.
But
Because what happens is all they're doing is like
they're dancing and they're in dresses. So was this
they're
cat in a
it's
dress?
a promise to like not have sex, and then they go get pregnant basically the next day.
So the cat's gonna get pregnant or die.
Yeah. Anyways, don't forget to
Stay aware
stay alive.
and always be DTF.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
This has been a Rogue Media Network production.